Today I want to talk about relationship that you and I share, or actually you share it with me, because I have no idea who you personally are, but you know who I am. And today's topic are parasocial relationships, relationships between people and popular people. And I'm actually not a popular person, but more about details of this relationship in today's video. Let's start. But obviously, before we begin, I have to tell you that this is Yury Experience, and here I share my various experiences about different topics. I do 2 videos per week, Mondays and Thursdays. If you will enjoy this video, please drop a like and also subscribe to the channel. Let's go! And obviously we begin with a definition. Here is an official definition in my own words. Parasocial relationship is a one-sided relationship between a person and some popular person. And normally this popular person doesn't know about the existence of this first person. Or this popular person doesn't even exist. Technically, parasocial relationships can exist between a real person and, for example, a character in some scene, or maybe a character in some book, or a character in a computer game. It doesn't actually matter. It is a relationship between a person and something that has no connection, no direct connection, no personal connection to this person. As I already mentioned, it is a one-sided thing. If one person knows about the existence of another person, but another person doesn't know about the existence of the first person, then obviously it can be bidirectional. It cannot go in both of these directions. It is just a relationship that one person has with another person, but not another person has with one person. And first, we do have these relationships in real life too. So in personal connections, not with popular people, but with normal people. For example, I am pretty sure there are people whom you know at school. It is a popular person at school, not some celebrity, but just a popular person at school. You know about the existence of that person, but that person probably doesn't know who the hell you are. Except for that, secondly, or B, or whatever letter I used, secondly, this relationship is comparable with normal human-to-human relationship, with normal personal relationship that we have with people and people have with us. It is kinda connected to the reason why parasocial relationships exist. I mean, it shall be pretty obvious to you that relationship where one person doesn't know about the existence of other person, it is not something that is normal for our everyday life, or it is normal for our psychology. But somehow it became normal over time. And one of the assumptions why parasocial relationships exist is prior to development of TV, radio, internet, we mostly had connections with people we know, with people we met, with people we see every day. It was something that was normal for us. We developed ourselves, we had evolution to become people or beings that have interactions with other beings based mostly on a personal basis. But then more and more media started to appear. We had books, and at that moment we didn't really think about parasocial relationship in that regard. But after some time we had radio, we had TV, we had social media, what we have nowadays, and that led to us kinda meeting, kinda interacting with people we didn't met personally, but people we know a lot about. Because on different occasions, people share a lot of their personal life, a lot of their character, a lot of their psychological background with other people. Obviously, not everything that people share is true. And sometimes we create this parasocial relationship with character in a movie or in a series. But we think that we understand these people because it is pretty much same as with normal relationships. We meet a person every day, we live through different struggles, and afterwards we think, yeah, we kinda know this person. And by parasocial relationships, we see this person regularly, that person talks about different stuff, or maybe shares that person's experience, or maybe shares opinions, and after some time we think, yes, I do know that person, I understand that person. And that basically leads to creation of some kind of relationship. It can be friendship, it can be something like love, it can be obsession, but at the end of the day, we create one-sided relationship based on nothing actually, based on our information that we got about other person. But is it really something real? Depending on the scientist, depending on the person who studies this stuff, answers will be slightly but different. Some people consider this stuff more real and more close to our normal relationships, and other people consider it something on a completely different scale. And to be honest with you, we have way too little studies, way too little information about this topic overall, because during a long part of humans' existence, A, we didn't have media in order to have this overall phenomena, but B, we didn't consider it as important, and that is why we studied this stuff like since 2002 or 2005. So really studied, not knew about it, but we studied it. And basically we don't know a lot about it. But what we do know, we know some of the consequences of these kinds of relationships. For example, similarly, as we learn better from people who we know personally, as we learn better from people who we trust, as we get our opinions and experience from people who we know, from people whom we trust, from the people with whom we associate ourselves, same stuff happens in parasocial relationships. If you have some kind of parasocial relationship, you have kind of friendship, one-sided friendship, one-sided appreciation maybe of a person or of a being or of a character somewhere on the internet, in the movies and whatnot, we learn from them better than we learn from other characters, other popular people or other popular beings with whom we don't have that kind of relationship. There was an experiment where children were put before television, and there were two characters. One of the characters that these children were used to, they associated themselves with this character, and one character from a different country. And these children didn't know this character. From whom did they learn more? From the character they know, from the character they associate themselves with, from the character they have their own kind of friendship, their parasocial relationship with. Obviously, it also goes in a negative direction, because we can learn something good, we can learn something bad. We can learn to be more aggressive thanks to the characters that we appreciate. Some people become not satisfied with their life or with their appearance because of their parasocial relationship with another person, because they think, my friend had that, my friend says me that I can achieve it, so why don't I have it yet? Another interesting influence of parasocial relationship is they help people, they support people on an emotional basis, similarly to a normal relationship. So if it is normal for you to get soothed, I think it is the right word, to get like comfortable thanks to other people in your life, then you probably can also achieve it through parasocial relationships, through relationships with people you don't know, but who say something like, everything will be good, everything will be alright, and if you believe these people, you will actually feel yourself good. Example here, during COVID times, a lot of people, a hell lot of people, watched a lot of movies, watched a lot of series, watched a lot of shows, and thanks to these shows, they could relax themselves. They got this emotional support they couldn't achieve through normal relationships at that moment, because during COVID times, we still are in COVID times, but during more critical COVID times, we had isolation and you couldn't meet personally with other people. And that's what did it for a lot of people. Parasocial relationship with a person that doesn't know about their existence, but it doesn't matter. That's what's interesting. It doesn't matter that popular person doesn't know about me. If it helps me, if it soothes me, it doesn't matter. Another interesting negative side of the parasocial relationship is a parasocial breakup. So if you have a normal relationship, it can happen that you will go through breakup. Friends go away from each other, lovers decide to break up and live apart, and pretty much same stuff can happen with parasocial relationship. You can have a great relationship with some person or character somewhere, and for example, this character on the show dies. This character in the movie dies, and that relationship doesn't exist anymore. Or for example, this popular person decided to go away from public eyes and decided to live like not show themselves on social media anymore. And that can lead to your real bad feelings about the situation, your real feelings of a breakup. Interesting example here, you probably know the show Friends, and as pretty much every show in existence, at some point it stopped. It stopped. And there were real cases of people experiencing really deep, bad, negative emotions, real breakup emotions because of a show. Because they associated themselves with characters so much that they almost felt like real friends with them. Kinda ironic. So is it good or is it bad to have parasocial relationships? Based on my understanding, it is not necessarily bad, but it shall not be an exclusive way of your interactions with people. Obviously, it is okay not to have parasocial relationships at all. You can just meet people eye to eye. But if your all relationships are based on parasocial relationships, if you don't have any social personal interactions with other people, then it can be bad for you. At the end of the day, personal relationships can give you a little bit more than parasocial relationships. Parasocial relationships, again, are one-sided, and you cannot expect another person to give you everything that you want out of this relationship. Which is why you would be unsatisfied if your relationships are only parasocial relationships. You will be unsatisfied till you have some personal, maybe. Maybe you have no high expectations and parasocial is enough for you. I don't have any information, at least right now, to tell you don't do it, but based on my understanding, most people suggest at least to have both. And as pretty much with everything, don't overdo it. It is okay, it is fine, it is acceptable to have a parasocial relationship with various beings, various people, various characters. But please, don't forget that this relationship is a parasocial relationship. You have never met that person, you didn't actually live through all the struggles with that person. And it's actually important majorly for real people, not for characters. But real people have more sides to them than they show on social media, they show in movies, they play in forms of characters. Real people are real people, and they have their own life, and they have their own life independent of you. If you belong to the life of some popular people, then it is a different topic. But if you have never met a person, you maybe kinda know the person, but it is at its best. And please don't go as far as to stalk the person, as to bring the other beings in danger, because there were cases. There were cases where people somehow thought that this relationship is a real one. It is a normal social relationship. It is a personal relationship. It is a relationship that these people deserve. But no, it was just a parasocial relationship. But it led to some people having a lot of trouble. Some people having stalkers and bad forms of stalkers too. Some people living in fear. So please, parasocial relationships are an okay thing. But as always, please, please, please don't overdo it. As long as you don't overdo it, as long as you still have normal relationships, social relationships, personal relationships in your life, you're in a good way. It is not bad to think that you understand the person, that you can associate yourself with another person who never met you. It is kinda okay and kinda normal in our life. Just don't overdo it. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it is the case, please drop a like. You can also subscribe to the channel. You can also leave a comment, and I see you on Monday. On Monday, have a great weekend.